Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope we're all having a wonderful weekend. Ooh, quite a few people here already. JDR, good evening. Gemma, Inner Peas, Kitty Q, Lori Sutton. Welcome, everyone. Pigeon Mac, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Tonight, all the questions that we're doing are on Robert Hansen, the serial killer. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. My dad just left this morning from visiting, so I'm back on track. There you go, Kitty Q. Tammy Hall, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Gonna give it a couple more minutes here, and then we'll get the trivia going. Notifications go out on different sites, different places. Takes people a little bit to get going. Tammy Hall is here. JDR. Do I have a Twitter account? Yes, I do. Um, that's Twitter is I every one of the trivia nights you can find on Facebook, Twitter, um, Discord, Twitch, and YouTube, of course. But I do. Just look for 411 now. Billy Ray Finley on Twitter. Have you done one on Dean Corral, the Candyman from Texas? I'm late to our anniversary awesome party. Have I done one just on him? No. But I'll write it down though as an idea for a future trivia night if I can find my there's my pen. Oops. Purple. Good evening. Dean. We've had trivia on him, but it wasn't on just on Dean Corral. Andre Kalinto, or how you pronounce that? Ch- yeah, whatever. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I'm sure some days I can pronounce my own name. Andre Chik Ito. I will, and everyone, I just stopped by to say hi. I'm recovering from surgery and we'll be chilling out this week. Well, you take care of yourself, Purple. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Remember when you leave trivia tonight, just stay safe and you don't know who's standing next to you. Isn't that true? Oh, love you too, Gemma. Russian child murder. The name sounds familiar. Might be interesting to do trivia on, especially on someone, like a serial killer that's not from America. I've gotten a lot of requests. One of the top things is to try to make these trivia nights more international, because I understand a lot of the audience and people who do enjoy the trivia are not necessarily from here in the United States. They may be living in London, or the UK as a whole, or overseas, Canada. Um, I've been that's been a huge request, is to do one on um, criminals from Canada, serial killers, um, spree killers from Canada. Gotten that request quite a bit, but it takes time to put these together. The one that I'm working on right now is on Hollywood, actors and actresses who have either committed crimes or have been murdered, or they were the victim. Say either they committed the crimes or they actually are the victim itself, I should say. I want to say thank you for doing the taco podcast videos for me. Thank you for all the shout outs and videos you've done too, Gemma. For about taco podcasts. I appreciate that. UK's Harold Shipman could be a 2 week topic. Well, yeah. I've done one on Harold Shipman before, and his crimes, his family. He's an interesting nut, but yeah, definitely could. Well, thank you, Interpeas. Will, this is your Twitter, yeah. 411 now. I'm pretty much 411 now everywhere on the internet. Dominic Dunn, Bob Crane, and Dorothy Stratton, rest in peace. The one I'm doing on Hollywood, I've got 7 questions done. So I'm constantly, I have as when I get time, I put together the questions or find the questions on the internet or wherever I can. So I'm doing like 2 or 3 of these at the same time, researching. And just because you see trivia, anybody can go to Google and type in, crime trivia, and you can find a trivia thing that actually play. But how accurate is that information that is on a lot of those sites? I found that since doing all these trivia nights, I found quite a few of those different sites that have trivia questions, especially on certain killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, or Ted Bundy and stuff like that. A lot of that information I wouldn't say it is meant to be inaccurate. It's just it paints that person in a particular stroke. It's like they want to make that person out to be something that they weren't. You'll either find ones where they really try to humanize them, or they try to paint them as not being as horrific as an individual. So they'll scrub all like the really nasty things about them out of the trivia, and just ask plain questions like, what was Ted Bundy's favorite type of tennis shoe? Do we really need to know what his favorite tennis shoe was? It was Nikes, by the way. Filters over the killer. Yeah. Pee Wee Gaskin. Pee Wee was a weird one. He drove murdered victims in his own hearse. Yeah. And he had a bumper sticker, and he used to tell people that's what I drive people to a private cemetery, not knowing, hey, Pee Wee killed the people that he buried in his private cemetery. Yeah, he's a strange one. Strange cookie. Pee Wee Gaskin. All right, let's get this party started. Here we go. The fair game serial killer, Robert Hansen. Robert Hansen, viewer discretion is strongly advised. Again, if you don't want to hear, about a serial killer, this is probably the wrong channel for you. But there are 15 questions plus one bonus question. So, little Will in my little window. All right, let's get the first question up on the screen. First question is, Robert Hansen was a highly skilled big game hunter in Alaska. Commonly hunted animals with a bow, but he also used a long gun rifle, a 30-06. When he hunted women, what did he use besides a Colt 45? Was it A, an AK-47, B, a knife, C, rocks, or D, a bat with nails in it? What other weapon did he use? Good evening, Reichard. He looks like a church boy. Oh, he was far from a church boy. Robert Hansen. Mini 14. We got B, A, B, B, B. Robert Hansen, what did he use besides a bow to hunt women in Alaska? E, Hallmark Channel reruns. My dad had a Mini 14 like Hansen's. Eddie, I've never owned one. Owned a lot of rifles. I've never owned a Mini 14 though. Well, of course, I've never owned an AK-47 either. E, wet spaghetti noodles. All right, question number 1. What other weapon did he use besides his Colt 45 to hunt down women in Alaska? The correct answer is B as in boy, a knife. He figured it was more of a sport if he hunted them down with a knife. All right, question number 2. After being captured and sentenced for his crimes, Hansen had a lot of high-profile law enforcement visit him. The FBI was very interested in him and his life. Who from the FBI came to talk to him first? Was it A, John Douglas, B, Jason Gideon, C, Robert Hansen, or D, Robert Mueller? Who came and talked to Robert Hansen first? I'm having a Hallmark moment. Tune in tomorrow. E. Telly Savalas with his lollipop. E, the ghost of Michael Landon playing Charles Ingalls. I used to watch Highway to Heaven. I never was much of a fan of Little House on the Prairie, but I liked Highway to Heaven. That was a good show. Who loves you, baby? Tilly Tavares. Fine Angel. Beretta, LOL. Good evening, MM. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Amelia, good morning and happy Sunday from Monday. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Amelia. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Where did I just see you? Who was the first one from the FBI who came and visited Robert Hansen? The correct answer is A as in apple for question 2. Former head of the FBI, well, he wasn't at the time, but he was just an agent. But John Douglas was the first FBI agent to come and talk with him. In total, 27 FBI agents have come and talked to Hansen to learn about his life and his crimes and who he is and what makes him tick. A lot of people have come and spoken with him. And Jason Gideon is the act. Well, that's that's an actor's role from Criminal Minds. That's who Jason Gideon is. All right, question 3. Which one from this list was a nickname that Robert Hansen had when he lived in Alaska? This is the YouTube community question of the week. Was it A, Ice Hansen, B, Drunk Robert, C, Bob the Baker Hansen, or D, Skinner Hansen? You don't know anything about Robert Hansen, I don't think. A very twisted individual, I might say. Robert Hansen is an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, tortured a lot of women in Alaska. Bob the Builder, can we kill you? Yes, we can. Rykar C, MMC. Down going with D, pitching back A? Question mark? Robert Hansen. What nickname did he use when he lived in Alaska? This nickname was given to him by his local community. It was not something he came up with by himself. It was a nickname that was given to him. Amelia, A, Ice. Good evening, Starfire. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight for trivia. He learned it from his father. Isaac Hansen and Taylor Hansen and Zach Hansen to do what? The Hansen brothers. Freddy Krueger. Question number 3. We're looking for his nickname that the community gave Robert Hansen. Good evening, villain chatters. All right, question 3. The correct answer is C, and as in cat, C. Bob the Baker. People loved his bread and his other pastries and stuff that he made, and they called him Bob the Baker. Bob the Baker. And yes, I think it was Tammy who said that he did learn to become a baker from his father. His father owned a bakery for quite a few years when he was growing up. And when Robert Hansen relocated to Alaska, he opened up his own bakery. Of course, he had to commit a crime in order to do that, to get the money, but he did it. He got away with it too. All right, question 4. Given a life sentence plus a boatload of years without any chance for parole, Hansen died in prison in Alaska at the age of 75. How many years was he actually set to serve? Was it A, 310 years, B, 441 years, C, 710 years, or D, 461 years? How many years was he actually set to serve? E, 144,000. We got B, D, E, C, question mark? Damn it, going with A. And M, going with B. Either way, that's a hell of a lot of years to do with no chance of parole. Mac, he looks like an anaerobic John Ritter with bad skin. Oh my God, it's B or D, but I can't remember. Which, so B, LOL, says Kitty Q. Too bad you weren't the judge. Lori Sutton is going with A. How many years in prison was he set to serve? Robert Hansen. I'm going to go with the biggest number because that's what I want it to be. Star 5 is going with A, 310 years. Hello, Anita, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Bacon. Robert Hansen. How many years was he actually set to serve in prison? Died at the age of 75. Actually died in the hospital infirmary, but was officially pronounced dead at the hospital. He lapsed into a coma before and they believe he died there before he left the prison itself, but he was officially announced dead at the hospital, but he was gone. Happy to be here. Good. All right, question 4. The correct answer is D as in dog. 461 years without the possibility of parole. Yeah, they gave him a sentence of 461 years, and if that wasn't long enough, he would have to have served 3/4 of the total sentence if the parole was even an option. He wasn't going to serve out 3/4 of a 461-year sentence, but they decided, nope, we're just going to tack on the end of it here. No chance of parole. You're going to die in prison. And he did. 461 years. Call me butter. I'm on a roll tonight. All right. Question 5. Robert's game was kidnapping women, holding them in his basement, then setting them free into the wilds of Alaska, then hunt them down like animals. How much, if any, of a head start did he give these women? Was it A, a count to 10 little piggies, B, 5 minutes, C, 10 whole minutes, or D, never gave one? But despite the subject matter, Will's quizzes are awesome. Well, thank you, Amelia. I appreciate that. I hope that everybody finds it interesting. If you do, give it a thumbs up. We got B's and C. How much of a head start did he give these women that he would then hunt like an animal? D. MM's going with B. B. Well, thank you, Gemma. Thumbs up and shared. Appreciate it. Question number 5. B, C, D, B, D, and B. This quiz is giving me anxiety. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty Coo. If there's snow, it's kind of irrelevant. That's true. If there's snow on the ground, you just follow the snow trail. Oh, hope everybody learned something new about him. But Robert Hansen, and then not any other serial killer that I've ever researched, has done the things that he has done. And his methodology, for what he did. All right, question number 5. The correct answer is A as in apple. And he really did that, ladies and gentlemen. According to him, he always gave them the count of 10 little piggies. 1 little piggy, 2 little piggies, 3 little piggies, 4 little piggies. He would count like that and give them a head start to run off into the forest and try to, evade him so he didn't kill him. 10 little piggies. I'm not trying this. It's just showing up. Showing up. All right. Question number 6. Robert kidnapped women from in and around his town of residency of Anchorage, Alaska. However, he didn't hunt them down near his home. How did he transport them to where he would kill them? Was it A, by van, B, by truck, C, by plane, or D, by car? How did Robert transport the women away from the location where he would kidnap them? In and around Anchorage, Alaska. How did he get them somewhere else? On the back of a mountain lion. That's funny. by a van down by the river. Well, that answer is Psycho to have been obvious. Scatty Nona, greetings. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Scatty Nona, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. How did Robert transport the women that he would kidnap from in and around Anchorage, Alaska to where he would hunt them down? Minnie is going with A. Not a bobcat. Nope, not a bobcat. Mountain lion on meth, driving a Yugo. E. Dog sled pulled a herd of juiced up chihuahuas. That would be funny as hell to see a bunch of chihuahuas trying to pull a sled. All right, question 6. The correct answer is C as in cat, biplane. Not only was Robert a baker, but he was a bush pilot. And he would transport not only the women that he would kidnap off to a remote area of the wilderness and then give them a count of 10 little piggies to run off and hide or get away. And I think there's only 2 women that ever got away from him. One was because she got away and she ended up like getting someone gave her a ride. She got to a road and it just happened to be somebody was there. And I think another woman got away the same way or got to a road and just ran as fast as she could for as long as she could. And he'd hunt them up down on foot. But he would take them from in and around the Anchorage where he kidnapped them and then put them on a plane and fly them to a remote wilderness area. This guy is really scary. Meth makes the dreams come true. Yo te quite Taco Bell. All right, question 7. And yes, I've never researched a serial killer quite like Robert. He had kidnapped these women in and around Anchorage, bring them to his home, tie them up in the basement, and then decide I don't want to kill them here. I'm now going to put them in my truck and drive them to the airport, and we're going to fly them out of here, and to a remote wilderness area, and then hunt them down. Who else has done something like that? That's unique. All righty, going on to question 7. Here's purple. You never know who is going to be standing next to you. You never know who is going to come knocking on your door. If Robert knocked on your door, why did he do so? Was it A, to kill you, B, to check your home security system, C, to deliver bread, or D, to let you know your Uber was there? You never know who is going to be standing next to you. You never know who's going to come knocking on your door. If Robert knocked on your front door, why did he do so? Oh, this live always makes me hungry. Taco Bell. Didn't know there was an Uber. that's I don't think he had an Uber Cessna. But in Alaska, though, I mean, if you want to get supplies and stuff like that, a lot of times you have to know a bush pilot because the remoteness of the entire country, the state, not country, but you have to get around by bush plane. A lot of things, that's how they get moved in and out, unless you live in a like Anchorage or some of the more metropolitan areas. I got a buddy who goes up there every year, and he builds like cabins. They're called homestead cabins for people. He only works like 4 months, 5 months of the year, and then the rest of the year he just sits at home and plays video games. Doesn't do much, but he likes it. In Alaska, many pilots get their pilot license before their driver's license. Understandable to do that. You got A and C's and A. You never know who's going to be standing next to you. You never know who's going to be knocking on your door. Says Purple. If Robert knocked on your front door, why did he do so? Question number 7. Got 12 more seconds. And the answer is question 7. The correct answer to question 7 is C, as in cat. Robert used to deliver bread in and around the Anchorage, Alaska area. So he was a baker, a bush pilot, and he delivered bread door to doors. He had people who were actually on what you call basically a subscription service, but they got so many loaves of bread every month. And he would bring his freshly baked bread directly to you. Talk about service right there, huh? Hopefully he didn't kill the people who lived there later on, but he would bring bread to their doors. Kind of like the milkman, but the bread man. Being gluten-free could save your life. Yeah. Is Purple here? She was. Don't know if Purple left or not. Purple just had surgery and is recovering from surgery. All right, question 8. Robert had what he called a wall of fame, where he proudly displayed items. He had stuffed animal heads, horns, and animal hides. What else did he display on his wall of fame? Was it A, locks of hair, B, photos of women bound, C, photos of future victims, or D, jewelry from victims? Robert had what he called a wall of fame, where he proudly displayed items. He had stuffed animal heads, horns, and animal hides. What else did he display on the wall of fame? Interpede. Mountain lion. Too easy. Rodney Alclay, a dating game profile. I've got Rodney Alclay, the dating game killer, on the suggested list of trivia nights. He is number 8. I was going to say 9, but 8. He's number 8 on the list of suggestions. I would love to do one on Rodney. There's a lot that people really don't understand about him. Starfire is going with A, locks of hair. MM is going with B, photos of women bound. Kitiku is going with D, jewelry from victims. Question number 8. Oh, going back to the previous question about transporting them by airplane. you might want to know, how did he get these women from his basement and then on a plane and then get them to, willing, to cooperate. Um, every one of the women he did this with, he handcuffed them and blindfolded them so they didn't know where they were going or what was going to happen. And then he, at gunpoint, he forced them on the plane, so they knew that they were being held at gunpoint. But he handcuffed them and blindfolded them so they didn't know where his home was, going to the airport, or anything else. And those two that did get away from him, they couldn't give the authorities much information other than I'm from Anchorage and this is where I was in the basement of this house. And then the guy put me on a plane and brought me here. So it wasn't like a direct connection right back to Robert. One of the toolbox killers had a ridiculous high IQ. His IQ is up there with Kemper. I mean, Kemper's pretty smart, but as far as I know, I don't think he's ever completed a single IQ test. He's taken a couple of them and partially, but I don't know, maybe if you combine the ones that he's done partially and put them together, you might be able to make one IQ test out of it to get a rough number, where Kemper's IQ is. I think he's probably one of the more fascinating serial killers out there, if there is such a thing as a fascinating serial killer. The Hansen's true victim count? Most likely not. He wasn't exactly going to tell them everything that they wanted to know either, even though a lot of law enforcement came and talked to him while he was in prison before he died. Were there things in his background history that alluded to Robert being such a deviant? Were there things in his background well, I mean, do you mean like abuse or that signs that that he was into things like this? In his younger years, Robert Hansen was a pretty normal individual, boring as hell. To people would refer to him that he was just an average person who worked and went home and lived a normal life. It wasn't until later on that a lot of people really found out about what he was really into, and that all transpired and really changed once he moved to Alaska, where there's signs that he torture animals or kill animals or anything like that when he was younger. Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure there might have been things that were really deviant about his younger years that we just don't know about. But I'm sure the FBI knows a whole lot more about him than we do. You wondered if JDR wonders if he suffered school and police records. There might be something out there, Amelia, in his background in that capacity. Law enforcement wise, brushes with the law. No, he was just a boring, run-of-the-mill individual. All right, question 8. The correct answer of what items he also displayed on his wall of fame was D as in dog, jewelry from the victims. He never sold the jewelry or pawned it or got rid of it. If the victim was wearing a necklace, he would keep it. And he displayed it on his wall of fame, or rings, or whatever it might have been, that some type of jewelry from each victim. But he put them on it was kind of like his way of reliving each and every one of them and remembering them. So they were kind of like a trophy. It was like, the wall was a trophy wall of different animals that he had hunted and killed. And the jewelry was, again, trophies of the women he hunted and killed. Make a video. A topic video for you to make later. Yeah, stole a chainsaw once. Excuse me. All right, question 9. Let's not kid ourselves about Robert. He wasn't loved or hated by his community. A lot of people just didn't think twice about him. He just blended into the background. What did make him stand out besides killing women? Was it A, he helped feed the poor and homeless? B, he went to church twice a week? C, he would drink whiskey with anyone? Or D, he gave away candy to kids? This question comes from Ranker, the actual website, and they've used this question in their trivia things 2001, 21, 22, and 23. It has come up on their trivia questions on Ranker. Good evening, Cement Shoes. Can't believe I'm so late. Either fell asleep or fell. Scroll back up. I fell asleep in the middle of the day and just woke up. Well, we're only on question number 9, Cement Shoes. Thank you for joining us tonight, though. B, B, D, B, B, and B. B seems to be a popular one. E, stylish glasses. Yeah, my father had glasses just like the ones that Robert is wearing in that photo. It's just a style. Must have been a very popular style too. AFK listening. Be right back. Donates Clarisil to actively challenge the mountain lions. And I missed last week's too. I meant to have glasses, but it's sensory issue. I don't wear them. I'm naughty. You don't wear your glasses. I've got here in my studio right now, Gemma. I have 3 pairs of glasses that are sitting here on my desk, and I'm like squinting to try to read the comment section. I'm terrible at wearing them myself when I know I'm supposed to. What's the name of the website for this trivia question? Ranker, spelled Ranker. Ranker. They do trivia questions, and they put together like lists, top 10 lists, and stuff like that. I have to wear my glasses though, especially when I drive. Because I can't see, but I don't know, 4 feet in front of the car. Eve, that head in the blood that Richard trolls. Keep forgetting because you're old. Well, none of us are getting any younger. So I have to put contacts in with my right hand after my left arm was amputated. Oh, sorry. Let's not kid ourselves. He wasn't loved or hated by his community. A lot of people just didn't think twice about him. He just blended into the background. What did make him stand out besides killing women? The correct answer to trivia question number 9 is A as in apple. All the bread that he would have left over at the end of the day, he would give to a local mission or give to other people in the community who did not have the means to buy homemade, cooked bread. That is what he did with all the leftovers every day. He helped feed the poor and the homeless. My bifocal glasses gave me rotten headaches. I have the trifocal, so they're no line not like a no line bifocal, but the bottom edge of them is more of a magnifying than the rest of it. My left eye is worse than my right eye. Okay, question 10. Unlike Gary Ridgway, Robert really didn't seem to care if he got caught. He never used countermeasures to throw off law enforcement. He did always clean his sights, though. Why did he always use the same weapons? Was it A, he enjoyed how well they worked? B, he was broke and couldn't afford new ones? C, couldn't find different ones? Or D, he figured no one would catch him? Why did Robert Hansen always use the same weapons? And in case you're wondering, again, hunting knife, Mini 14, and a Colt 45. Those are the weapons he always used on top of his bow. Did two different power contacts. Oh. I have never worn contacts. My daughter does. My son has astigmatism, so he'll eventually have to wear glasses just like the rest of the family. Poor eyesight runs in our families. Miss K, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Everyone made it. Yay. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Robert Hansen, unlike Gary Ridgway, Robert really didn't seem to care if he got caught. He never used countermeasures to throw off law enforcement. He did always clean his sights, though. Oh, yes, he did. He was very meticulous about it, not leaving any evidence behind, but didn't use countermeasures like Ridgway would leave gum wrappers, cigarette butts, and hair and other things behind to throw off law enforcement. So when they came and they found the body, they would find this other false evidence. Robert Hansen didn't do that, though. He left his flamethrower in his Hugo. You have a stigmatism too, Gemma? Yeah. Lemon Pie. Good evening, Lemon Pie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Yeah, we got a long week. Hey, Cement. Excuse me. All right. Question 10. The correct answer is A as in apple. He enjoyed how well they worked. Again, he always used his bow, Mini 14, a Colt 45, and a hunting knife. He never changed any of them. Forensically, they all were the same weapon. He never altered them, didn't change the barrel or the firing pin on the Mini 14, nothing. He kept always the same weapons. He used them all because he liked how they worked. That was big of him. Yet here he was killing people. Yeah, right? All right, question 11. April 10th, 1980, Robert kidnapped a middle-aged woman he believed was a stripper, kept her for 6 days in his basement before killing her. That wasn't his only murder that day. What else was? A, he killed a sex worker. B, he killed a homeless woman. C, he killed the first victim's sister. Or D, he killed the victim's dog. April 10th, 1980, Robert killed a middle-aged woman he believed was a stripper. Kept her for 6 days in his basement before killing her. But that wasn't his only murder that day. JDR, all the above. What else, or who else, did Robert Hansen kill that day? April 10th, 1980. F, his Barry Morpheus bicycle. My birthday is plus some years. Kitty Q, your birthday is April 10th? My birthday's coming up. Like everybody, our birthdays come around once a year. E, it's a itsy bitsy spider. April 10th, 1980. See, my siblings, I have one sister whose birthday is April 19th. She's the only one in the month of April. April, March, June, August, July. He did burn down a school bus. Yes, he did. Earlier, before he moved to Alaska. Well, I believe that's where it was back east before he moved to Alaska. He got in a tiff, I guess you could say, with the company he worked for. But is that a precursor to or a sign that he was, going to be a serial killer? I mean, it's a long ways to go from arsonist to serial killer. But I guess, everybody has to start somewhere, right? Contacts only worked for me when you were young. And get younger, damn it. I don't know why we can't get younger, damn. It's the way things work in this world. We're all born, we all age, we all die. Only things guaranteed in life are taxes and death. Welcome, Aunt B. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Arson is classic early trait for serial killers. Is it? I did not know that. I can't think of any other serial killers that I know of that started off as an arsonist. I know of a lot of serial killers who started off torturing animals or dissecting animals at a young age, like Jeffrey Dahmer. He started dissecting roadkill by the encouragement from his own father. I think there's one of his victims still not identified. JDR of Robert Hansen. They believe that there are a lot more victims out there that they just never were able to find, because he never took them when he flew these women to remote parts of the forest in Alaska. He didn't exactly do it all every single time in the same area. It was the thrill of the whole thing for him, the hunt. But anyways, April 10th, 1980, Robert Hansen kidnapped a middle-aged woman he believed to be a stripper and kept her in his basement for 6 days before killing her. That wasn't the only murder that day. What else was? The correct answer to question 11 is D as in dog. Yeah, D as in dog. He killed the woman's dog. And she wasn't a stripper. She worked on and off again as a cocktail waitress. She worked as a maid. She worked doing other odd jobs, but she wasn't a stripper. Now, people have always questioned it. Did she actually do any other kind of like sex work or anything else? I don't know. That was never determined. But he killed her dog on April 10th, 1980, because he believed that the dog was going to tip off authorities to where he was or where she was. Bedwetting, arson, and animal cruelty are dark McDonald tirade. Okay, question 12. Now for something a little lighter. Robert didn't kill women 24/7. He often took time off to go fishing, hunting animals, and even took time off for what? Was it A, go on vacation and sea crabbing? B, travel to see friends in Washington State? C, sit back and think? Or D, take drugs and sleep? Robert Hansen didn't kill 24/7. He took time off to go fishing and hunting animals, and even took time off for what? Why did the chat keep on stopping? Will Google McDonald's tirade. I will later, Tammy. Thank you. Jersey Shore fan club meetings. Study Renaissance paintings. Visiting mountain lions at the zoo. There you go. Question 12. Robert didn't kill 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ride the teacup ride at Disneyland. This Ramirez. Oh my God. What did Robert take time off to do besides fishing and hunting? Drugs, think, visit friends, or go vacation and sea crabbing? That should be played on a loop. I've requested about getting the channel with email you. Will, I have had requests about getting email me. Email me, Gemma. What did Robert Hansen do to take off time? Couldn't kill 24 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, even a serial killer's got to relax, right? I ain't quite right in the noggin. Meth, it says inner peas. Take drugs and sleep. Well, meth keeps you awake, so that wouldn't have been sleep. Well, he wouldn't have been taking meth and going to sleep. Those tweakers, they stay up days and days and days on end. Question 12. Miss K is going with D. Meth in a van down by the river. All right, question 12. The correct answer is B as in boy. He traveled to Washington State to visit a friend. Yeah. Robert Hansen had a friend who lived in Washington State. He lived somewhere in the state. I don't know. It doesn't say where he traveled to in Washington State to visit a friend. All right, question 13. Robert was broke. He knew if he was going to be a successful killer, he needed to blend into society. So what a better way to become a business owner. Where did he get the money? A simple plan, and it worked. So what did he do to get the cash to start his own business? Was it A, borrow it from family, B, sold jewelry from victims, C, insurance fraud, fake robbery, or D, did he rob a bank? Where did Robert get the money to start his business? Kitty Coo is going with C, 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 C. Tammy C, lemon pie A. Amber M is going with C as well. Chainmail letters. Oh my God. Oh. I've forgotten all about chain letters. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad those things have stopped. Have they? Well, I haven't gotten one in a long time. I know this one. LOL. It's C. Sold his German shepherds. He had a friend. Yes, he had a friend. One friend. Oh, I'm sure he had other people that he called friends there in Alaska. But he had one friend in Washington State that he came and visited. Well, he went and visited. Water filter, MLM, multi-level marketing. Tupperware party. There you go. Tupperware. I don't think he sold Mary Kay beauty products. Tupperware. Recycled used thongs. They actually sell those women's underwear in vending machines in Japan. My daughter went there on vacation and actually took a picture of the vending machines. You can find them in the subway system. And they come out in a little can, a little plastic and metal can, and they have used underwear in them. And apparently they're really popular. A party planner, a butcher. Yeah. Used women's underwear in a can from a vending machine. And welcome. Elaine Ann. Texas now sells ammo in vending machines. Yeah. Why not? Everything's better and bigger in Texas. All right. The answer to question 13 is C as in cat. He committed insurance fraud to get the money, a fake robbery. He staged it all himself, and it worked. And that's how he got the money to start his own business, the bakery. Okay, question 14. The time has come. How many known murder victims are there of Bob the Baker, aka Robert Hansen, from just the state of Alaska? How many are there? How many victims are known? Is it A, 38, B, 56, C, 22, or D, 17? Question number 14. These are known victims. These are not the number that they believe that he actually probably killed. Just known victims. How many? 144,000. Look at that. Cement shoes and inner peas within half a second of each other. We could sell our underwear for the electric bill. Just need a can. Recycled question. How many known victims are there of Bob the Baker, aka Robert Hansen, in just the state of Alaska? Fuller Brusher salesman. Rycart is going with D. MM is going with D. Ian is going with C. Okay, I couldn't finance to buy one, get one. It's K is going with D. Layaway. Do they even have layaway anymore at stores? I remember my mom, we used to go to like Kmart, she'd have like stuff on layaway. I mean, that was back in the 80s, so the only time I've ever seen a layaway. Well, at least I can remember. I'm probably, saw them in other stores. I just don't remember them, except for at Kmart. Oh, we'll gladly pay you Tuesday. You missed layaways? A lot of things like that are gone. We don't even realize it. I read an article about that. They just opened up some new Kmart stores. Kmart and Sears is part of the same business now, but they just opened up. They're really tiny Kmart stores. It was a brief article. It was I think, on Bazinga Financial. They're like a financial online publication, I guess we call it. You miss Kmart? I miss retail stores in general. I mean, I don't necessarily miss Kmart. I miss going to Sears and when Sears actually had stuff there. I miss Montgomery Wards. I don't know if anybody remembers Montgomery Wards. You know, the big Sears catalog that you used to get every year, like the Wish book, the Christmas Wish book. Me and my sisters would sit down and go through that giant thick catalog, and look at all the cool stuff that was in there. You live in a small farming community like we did. Those things came in handy. You didn't know what the hell was even in fashion really, unless you saw it in the Wish book. My sister worked in the deli in the 70s. Sears like Craftsman tools. Yeah, you can get Craftsman tools now that are really cheaply made. You can get them at Ace Hardware stores. They sold all off. Yep, Wards love those, and J.C. Penney catalog. Monkey Wards. See, there's somebody else who remembers Monkey Wards. The monkey. Monkey Wards. All right. How many victims are there known of Robert Hansen's in just the state of Alaska? The correct answer is D as in dog. 17 victims are known from just the state of Alaska. The FBI believes his real murder count is excess of 30, but they've never been able to prove that because they've never been able to find the victims. 17 in just the state of Alaska. They do also believe that he may have committed other murders outside of the state of Alaska before moving there. But they've never been able to prove it because they've never found the victims. You got to find the body. Just because some people disappear near, a serial killer doesn't mean that serial killer killed them. And, well, Robert wasn't going to talk about it. Even with law enforcement, when they came and visited him, he'd only tell them so much about what he did and how he did it. Kmart was famous for sub sandwiches. Really? Lifetime warranty on Craftsman hand tools. Nerdiest serial killer. All right, question 15. Robert Hansen served in the U.S. military for a short spell. Later, he became a training instructor for a police academy, where his hatred, according to him, really started to boil over. What branch of the U.S. military did he serve in? Was it A, the Army, B, the Navy, C, the U.S. Marine Corps, or D, the U.S. Air Force? What branch of military did Robert Hansen serve in? He was a nerdiest. Find, torture, kill. Raider? No, that's not Raider. It looks like Army. Starfire is going with B. Question number 15. Do you imagine this man also served teaching law enforcement? Yeah, he did for a short spell. He worked at the police academy, training new officers. He was with the village people. YMCA. MM is going with D. U.S. Air Force? Question mark. What is Little Caesars? Pizza, pizza. Cheap cardboard pizza. Actually, the Little Caesars that we have here, cement shows. I don't go there very often, but they don't. When I first saw Little Caesars, they used to get two square pizzas in a long cardboard and paper box, but now they're circle pizzas, unless you get like the pie, the deep dish pie, and they're actually not. It's not that bad. It's not as cheap and and disgusting as it used to be, but I wouldn't call it great pizza. It's cheap. I mean, where else you gonna and what else do you expect for for a pizza for less than $10, right? You get what you pay for. Pedo pizza. B and A pizza pizza. Papa John's used to be $6.99. Really? I don't. I'm not a big fan of Papa John's. The only pizza I really like is like they don't have them anywhere around here anymore. It's Godfather's pizza, or Pietro's. I rarely ever eat pizza. My wife and the family they like to get pizza on Fridays. Not me. I like mom and pop local shops for pizza. Yeah, there you go. Now they're the most expensive fast. Really. Got breadsticks from Little Caesars. I don't think I've ever had their breadsticks. What branch of the military did Robert Hansen serve in? Emo's Pizza, Godfathers. Starfire is changing to A. The best. Okay, question number 15. The correct answer is A as in apple, the U.S. Army. He served in the U.S. Army and was discharged, not honorably. He got a no contact or I can't remember what the hell they called it. I was reading about it, but he was discharged from the U.S. Army. Then later on, he went to work for a police academy, and he did other small jobs. Um, Bounced around a little bit. Worked for a school system. Any pizza is good when you dunk it. Kmart, if I was drunk, LOL. DeLuca's pizza is awesome. I never heard of DeLuca's. So, wonder where's DeLuca pizza at, Rykart? I like homemade pizza, Argentinian style. Huh. I like Jets, but Little Caesar says good, soft. Okay, bonus question time. Did you know Robert is a world record holder and state record holder? Not just once, but several times over. His first world record and state record was set in 1969 and the last in 1971. What did he set these records for? Was it A, most women hunted down in the wild? B, longbow hunting? C, skydiving? Or D, cliff diving? Bunny and the Jets. is it the Army Reserve? No, he was in the actual. He wasn't in the reserve. He was in the actual U.S. Army, but he got into trouble or something. And he got. I can't remember what the type of discharge they actually called it though. Pinocchio's Pizza. Nerdiest glasses. Benny, 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 Benny. Benny, 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 Benny. Robert Hansen is a world record holder. In case you're wondering, some of the records that Robert Hansen set in 1969 are still officially the record, the world's record and state record still currently, but they've removed him from the record. I'll tell you more about that after I give you the answer. Disco dancing. Alaska's ugliest topless dancer. DeLucas is in some Flying J truck stop for Gland, Oregon. Okay. We got Flying J's around here, but a lot of the Flying J's and Pick-a Pop gas stations here now have been sold off to other franchises. But they're Flying J's around here still. I know there's at least two. How many more questions are there tonight? JDR, this is the last question. The bonus question. Number one. Only one. F. Most likely to meet Ned Wild. A beautiful mess. I can handle murder, but not the animals getting killed. Yeah. Good pizza red card? Must be. Your daughter-in-law manages a Flying J's? There you go. Oh my God, in 1980, I was in the 7th grade. Did you know Robert Hansen is a world record holder and state record holder? Not just once, but several times over. His first world record and state record was set in 1969, and the last in 1971. What did he set these records for? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer to the bonus question is B as in boy. Longbow hunting. After his arrest, the record books were eventually changed to remove his name from all state record holding, and he was also removed from the Pope and Young, which is the official hunting records like guide. It's like, okay, the biggest whitetail or the biggest moose or whatever, but he was removed officially from the Pope and Young record book as well. But he had 3 records that are still to this day records for the largest deer they've ever shot by a long bow in the state of Alaska history. It doesn't say if they were all 3 are deers. It just says that he held the record, the state record and the world's record for the largest deer. So, but he was removed from all state records and the Pope and Young record book for hunting longbow. So how did you do tonight? Add one extra point if you got the bonus question correct. And of course, You're not playing against anybody. You're just playing for fun, for educational purposes. Hopefully you learned something about Robert Hansen tonight. Some people want to, well, I got like 12 right, or I got 5 right, I got 2 right. Mountain lion riding in a Yugo while smoking meth was cement shoes. I'm always E. There you go. Wonder who holds the record for the longest ear. Deer? Ear? I don't know. And B, I'm out of my small little window. That is all the questions for the trivia. I hope everyone liked it. Excuse me. Like the trivia questions tonight. I did good, but bad because I know this case. I think mine is B. Can't recall. There you go. Again, you're not playing against anybody else. You're just playing for your own entertainment. You don't have to keep score. Some people like to. Some people don't. I get that. I don't recall. You're welcome, Pigeon Mac. I'm glad to do this. I have fun with the trivia because I learned something too. So you might be wondering how many of the 15 plus the bonus question, how many of them did I know before I put together this trivia night? I knew exactly 5. 5 of the 15, 16 if you count the bonus question. That's all I knew. The rest of them I didn't have a clue about before I put this together. I knew that the man, captured, caught women, abducted them, kidnapped them, and tied them up, and then I knew he flew them to different places. I knew that, in and around the state of Alaska, and hunted them down. And the only reason why I know that is because on Criminal Minds, the television show, I don't remember what season it was. I think it was like maybe season 3 or something like that. They actually did a story that was kind of based on that. A serial killer who was kidnapping women and then hunting them down in the wilderness. That was based on Robert Hansen. But that's why I threw Jason Gideon in as one of the options on the questions tonight. So mad I missed most of tonight. You can always watch it and rewind, Cement Shoes. Thank you for the great trivia night. Again, you're welcome, Lori. Thank you for being here with us. I swear, if you take off his glasses, you'd think Ryan Kohlberg was a relation. Kohlberg is not exactly what I would call a mastermind. He thinks he's smarter than everyone. He thinks that he was committing the perfect murder, but he wasn't. I didn't know about this guy at all. Robert Hansen. Yep. Hey, you learned something new. The Candyman, Dean Corell, is insane. Just like Gacy. In Con Air, Nick Cage was a convict and John Cusack was the cop. In Frozen Ground, Cage was the cop and Cusack was the criminal. See? That's true. Demeanor of a BK, but not the looks. That was a great film. Con Air. I've always liked the movie Fargo. Frozen Ground is based on Robert. Well, I wrote down Dean Coral and Andre Chiquito, or whatever how you pronounce his stupid name, as different suggestions. I'll add them to the list. Love Fargo. I like Quentin Tarantino's movies for the most part. I think he does a damn good job. BK and BTK make me want to go to Burger King. It's a stupid name. What I meant to say is BK has Hansen's demeanor, if not his looks. Ah. Caitlin Armstrong. I will definitely add it to the list. Cement shoes, and I'll have to look into it, see what I can find. It's like some of these things, like people that have suggestions that have been given. It's hard to document, especially like newer cases, from some of the suggestions, because I have to be able to find a way to verify the question, for the trivia. It makes it difficult for some of these things to be done for trivia night. But other ones, a little bit easier. And Monday, like always, make sure to check out the community tab here on my YouTube channel. I post a trivia question every Monday, so you get a 6.5 day advance notice of what next week's trivia questions are all going to be about. And as soon as you click on what do you think the option the correct answer is from the options, it gives you 4 options, just like this, like the trivia night here. And if they actually give you, if you'll see a little thing that drops down, it gives you the a little bit more information about the answer and the question itself. So that's always good to see. She killed her love rival and ran away to Costa Rica. Laura Gacy might have interaction, but can't prove it. It's my serial killer vibes. Angry little sadist. Yeah. Case is still ongoing. Ah. Monday, didn't know that. Yep. On my community tab right here on YouTube. So you go to my main dashboard and of my channel, scroll over to the middle, and you'll see community. Click on that, and that's where I post up all the updates and information, what's going on, and that's where the trivia question every week on Monday morning. So tomorrow morning, probably about 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere in there is when I post the trivia question. The trivia question's already there. You just don't see it because I can actually set the time for it to actually, go live, the question. So, Maura Wilson, a champion bicyclist. I always get it wrong. Happy Sunday from Monday, New Zealand. New Zealand, that's right. It's our Monday, but long weekend here. Catch y'all later, and everyone have a wonderful night. You as well, and thank you again for stopping in and playing trivia with us tonight. Hope you have a terrific week ahead. Sixth Sense, the movie, Sixth Sense. It was a good movie. That had Bruce Willis in it, right? The Sixth Sense. Oh, okay. That's why it sounds familiar. Cement shoes. I was like, when you said the bicyclist thing, I was like, oh man, I think I've heard of this before. But the nose job and her sister's passport, you answered it, and then Will's automated system tells you, yeah, you got it right or wrong. Yeah, that's a new feature on that YouTube just rolled out. It's been in testing, like beta form, for a while. Some of the features that they roll out, I don't get them right away, and some features I've never got. Like you can be watching like this channel, this trivia night. Some channels will have a merch store shelf link below where you can actually see things like coffee mugs, T-shirts, hats, whatever that the person who's doing the stream has for sale. I've never gotten the community that actual merch shelf itself. I don't know why. Um, Maybe because for the longest time on YouTube, I refused to play their silly little games and play nice with them. I don't know what they really do. Do the Ron Defoe murders at Amityville murders. Bill murder. I wrote it down. Well, I'll look into it. He says, "Don't get murderized now." Yeah, don't get murderized. Murderized. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia there. I really do appreciate everyone stopping in, and I hope you all have a terrific week ahead. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Couldn't do it without you. I see dead people. Everyone, take care. I will see you again soon, if not next week, for trivia again. Again, 4 p.m. If you need to set an alarm clock and wake up, might want to think about doing that. Set it on your phone or something. Everyone, take care.